The 11 conditions in Minnesota that qualify patients to be treated with medical marijuana. At a hearing at the Capitol last week, some families urged that list be expanded to include children and adults with autism. Joining us, two of the moms who argued just that, Heather Tidd and Victoria Grancarich. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
We want to hear both your stories. Let's start with you, Victoria, because this is very dramatic. We have a pretty disturbing shot of your son, Julian. We want to start with. Tell us about what is going on in this picture.
So about 1 year ago, Julian started self-injuring, and he was very aggressive for a few months prior to that. Julian had always been a severely affected child with autism, but he had never been violent or aggressive before. And I believe that something happened when he hit puberty and he began self-harm.
So that's an image of him having beaten himself.
Yes, ma'am.
He qualified for medical marijuana not because of the autism, but because of the seizures. What happened when you started giving him medical marijuana?
Well, we had tried every pharmaceutical medication that was offered to us, and nothing stopped the aggression or the self-injury. The seizures were still not well managed. And in January of...
this is after the medical marijuana here. These are very cute
This
pictures.
is recent, yeah. So in January, we were kind of at our wits' end. We knew that, that nothing else was going to work, and if we didn't get him cannabis, that he would probably kill himself. So within 6 weeks of him beginning medical cannabis, all of the aggression and self-injury, everything stopped, and he's completely out of his helmets. He's back to school. He's not harming himself or anyone else, and he's made a full recovery. Wow. He's doing amazing, and his seizures are well managed.
Right, and your husband testified that he actually had to wear sort of body armor in the house. You had to put your 11-year-old daughter who does not have autism, she had to stay in her room.
For her own safety,
For her own
yes.
safety. All right, Heather, so in other words, you got the medical marijuana because of the seizures.
Yes.
But it helped drastically with this autism. Heather, let's hear your story, because you actually have 4 kids. Let's talk about TJ, because we have some pretty dramatic images of pictures of what TJ, who has PTSD from being in a foster home, what he actually did. He was so destructive.
Yeah, so we adopted TJ 9 years ago, and he did have a pretty rough start in life. He has PTSD, and he would
tear apart your rooms.
When he was raging, when he was kind of having these issues, he would tear apart a room in under just a few minutes. It was a real fight or flight, and he would fight. He would try to kill other people. He'd try to kill himself. He would kill animals.
He qualified under the expansion of medical marijuana
with Tourette's.
With Tourette's.
Yep.
Okay, so when you got him medical marijuana, how much did that help?
Overnight, it helped immensely. We had an 80% reduction in tics immediately with the Tourette's, and we had gone from calling the police every day to we haven't called them since July of 2015.
You have another child, Jackson, who has autism, and we've got a picture of Jackson. That's actually TJ, but we do have a picture of Jackson, I believe standing with Governor Mark Dayton.
Yep.
He has autism, and you would like to see, you'd like him to be able to get this.
Yes, I think we've seen how it affects certain behaviors, and children with autism have a lot of the similar behaviors as our son with PTSD did. And we know it's effective for those behaviors, and we've seen it with our friends, and we believe 100% that it's going to be beneficial for people with autism.
Okay. Dr. Ed Ellinger is currently considering this. He is going to make a decision by December 1st. What would you say to him, you know, if he's listening, just to be on the record about it?
I would like to speak to him directly and tell him that I am having families reach out to me on a daily basis. We have children that we have to keep at home because they can be so dangerous. You can't take a child like that in public. So there are so many children in our state that are suffering, and they're not getting the help that they need. These other pharmaceutical medications are not helping them. I have parents reaching out to me daily, begging for help. Okay. There are so many kids that need this.
And just quickly, the Autism Society is not completely on board with this. I've got a statement from them saying that they're still reviewing the research. Quickly, your thoughts on that?
I think they have to be careful. They're a large organization, and there's a lot of responsibility. There are no great tests so far in the U.S. because it's not federally legal. So they're just being safe. But the reality is it gives you your life back, and if that can help even a few people, it's worth it.
All right, well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Really extraordinary, the kinds of work that you have to do on a daily basis. I don't know how you do it, but obviously you're continuing this advocacy.
With a lot of love.
With a lot of love, all right.